Virgo. Someone is a beacon of light for you, or you're a beacon of light for that person. Are you amped up about this beacon of light who is offering something wonderful to you in your life? Makes sense if you are. In your past, you've dealt with someone who rushed things a little bit. Um, and they had this energy that can be summed up by saying that the person was driven by a rush. And I guess you could say they experienced a rush when they were moving quickly, when they were trying to do things fast. It was instrumental in going through the things that they had to deal with. There is someone who is making themselves known to you. They're not playing around, they're not playing games. And this is something that you're going to welcome into your world. They have some organic ways of behaving. They are very compassionate. You've come to appreciate that, I feel. They're wise. I think you'll also appreciate that. They know what they want. They feel that life is possibly too short for beating dead horses, things of that nature. They don't want to make someone put in tons of effort, tons of work just to reassure themselves that that person is feeling them. They know that that type of behavior can generate confused outlooks. Let's find out more about this energy that's coming in from this individual. Essentially, the energy that they're carrying, which they will display, is reminiscent of a hawk. That's healing, vision, rebirth, spirituality. Things that I'm thinking you're going to want to embrace. There are many species of hawk, each with its own legends and associated folklore. The birds have symbolized healing, freedom, vision, and rebirth. In Egyptian mythology, Isis, the goddess of abundance and fertility, assumes the shape of a hawk as she gives birth to her son, Horus, who then dies and is reborn. Amazingly enough, she also becomes a hawk to join her husband, Osiris, in the underworld. Native Americans associate the hawk with potent magic and use its feathers in healing rituals and in ceremonies to bring rain. So, this is someone who is possibly superstitious. For some of you, this person may have dabbled in some magic. Um, this person is, I'm feeling, highly educated and fertile. They may have um, high status when it comes to their sociability. Um, they have some cash of their own. I'm feeling that. They've also had something that happened that um, has really shaken them a little bit. So I'm gathering that. Um, but healing, that is a vibe that they're bringing that stands out a great deal to me. So if you need to heal in some areas, I feel that they're going to be very supportive of that. So be mindful of that. Also, there's something favorable happening on the heels of you um, transferring a bit of knowledge that you have, helping others in some way, passing down things that you've learned. So no postponements are in order when it comes to sharing, training, teaching, things of that nature. If you have any questions, I'm gonna take a look over here and see if anyone's typing anything in here, and I'm not seeing any come in. I'm gonna give it a few minutes and see if anyone steps in who wants to type anything in there and chit chat with me. Some of you, I'm feeling that you've tired yourselves out. You become tired in some way. Um, you have memories that are really nostalgic about maybe simpler times that's coming in. The advice that's coming through is just to generate support by being supportive. That's something that I'm feeling that you do anyway. You're a supportive individual, and just embrace the support that is being offered to you. There's someone present who is a good listener, and they're coming in as being someone who is affectionate to boot. And that's what many of you are going to feel is the kicker. That's really positive, especially after some possible heartbreak or some disappointment in love that a few of you have experienced. That's evident. And during a time when you had time to really put into love vibes, maybe you just felt that things just weren't really up to par when it came to relationships because you had the ability to do that double checking. Someone was feeding you cues, and it was also something that promoted a little bit of conflict there because it wasn't hard to find out certain things. It's like someone was spoon feeding you knowledge. However, you've been recognized as being someone who has endured so much, someone who, you know, possibly you've even recognized your own, issues, and you've confronted your demons. And this is something that is able to get you recognition even within a relationship. And you stand out quite a bit. So someone is noticing you because you stand out. You're not the average run of the mill individual who they're used to dealing with. So they're going to be inclined to really give you that second look and give you that attention if that's what you've been craving. I appreciate that thumbs up. I'm going to give it another minute or so to see if anyone wants to ask anything, any questions. I'm feeling that someone's going to ask you a favor, and it's going to be something like a secret type of favor. And so you're going to be placed in a scenario where you can either do it or not. And I'm feeling that um, many of you have your own thoughts on what your standards should be. So if it conflicts with any of your beliefs, you are going to, even if you haven't always felt like you needed to say something, you're going to refrain from something quite possibly. And then you're going to have something to say about it. It's not like you're going to keep it to yourself. Some way it's going to come out and something that you say why you either will or will not back whatever someone else um, is requesting of you. Um, and it may be something that people don't understand, but you have your reasons, very strong reasons. No questions, so I'm going to wrap up.